So this is going to be the last video for this lesson. I'm going to do my best to keep all of these lessons around 30 minutes of talking and playing time, so that it kind of takes into account about 20 minutes of practice time on your end as you're watching and you're pausing and trying things out. So this last one is Liebestraum by Franz Liszt. It's a harmonization excerpt that you're going to need to prepare for your final exam, and we'll just gradually work our way there. I wanted to introduce it. It should be available under Blazeview content handout, label Liebestraum. Let me know if you have trouble finding it. Hopefully you have a printer or access to a printer so that you can print it out. I'll be telling you some tidbits about fingerings that you'll want to write in. You'll notice the roadmap, there is a repeat, then you go to the second ending, you continue going until you get to the end where it says da capo, you go back to the beginning, you play through, skip the first ending, and then jump to the third ending, and that's your fine. What we will do with this is your left hand will arpeggiate. You'll play root, third, fifth, and root. So you'll double the root for all of these chords. It's implied that all of these chords will be played in root position, so it makes it easy to think about, but maybe not quite so easy to maneuver jumping around. Yeah. There are a couple of fingering choices that you can make when you're playing all white key arpeggios. In the case of C major, D minor, G major, you can either decide to use 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5, or you can use 5, 4, 2, 1, 2, 4, 5. So I advise that you give it a try, maybe hit pause on the video, whichever fingering you like best, write it down so that you don't have to figure it out again in the future. Now, when you come to chords that have a black key in the middle, you're going to want to use 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5, 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5. Just because of the nature of our hand, our middle finger is our longest finger, and so it's going to be the finger that's most comfortable for reaching that black key. You'll see that if I try to put my fourth finger on it, it kind of puts my thumb out of position and makes it difficult. All right, let me show you what it will eventually sound like. So I'm going to perform this for you, and then we'll talk about what the next step is. Okay, so first we have to think about what rhythm my left hand is playing. You have to think about how many notes am I playing in my left hand to each of the notes in the right hand. Or in other words, how many notes am I playing in the left hand to each measure? Once you know that, then you can do the math and figure out what subdivision or what rhythm I'm playing. So now listen really carefully and see if you can count. How many notes did you count? Let's try that together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we've discovered that the left hand is playing 6 notes per measure, and that means that we are playing eighth notes. Okay, so we're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 1 and chords, we play 2 cycles because there are 2 measures of C, 2 measures of E, 2 measures of A, 2 measures of D. But then some of these chords we play 1 cycle because D minor only has 1 measure, G major has only 1 measure, so on and so forth. So you have to keep your calculation clear in your head. The other thing that you have to know is that when you have just 1 measure per chord, so now I'm looking at measure 9, D minor, you don't make it back to tonic before you have to change chord. Here's what I mean. You have tonic, third, fifth, tonic, fifth, third. You don't play that low D again. You have to change because that's 1. In other words, this is 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 is on G. You do not make it back to the low D, yeah? Okay, students, I want you to give this a try. Let's try it together. We'll just go from the beginning to measure 12, end on that first ending, that C major. Let's try just our left hand. Here it is. Left hand, find your C major. I'm using 5, 3, 2, 1, but you're welcome to use 5, 4, 2, 1. Some of you have longer fingers, and so you're able to reach that. Okay, here it is. 1 and 2 and 3, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and E major. Next, here's E. G sharp, 2 cycles, second cycle, and 2 and A major. Next, go. And 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and D, go. And 2 and 3 and D again, and 2 and 3 and D minor, 1 measure, 2 and 3, change to G, to C. Let's do 1 last cycle of C. We'll stop on E. Okay, students, if you were listening really carefully, you will hear that when I jumped between chords, there was a release, there was a gap from chord to chord because you need to compensate for travel time from note to note. Eventually, if you have access to a piano with pedal, you will use the pedal and it will smooth over that connection. Here's what I mean. So, for example, from measure 6 to measure 7, A major. Did you hear that gap? That is what you should do too as you travel from chord to chord. Okay, students, at this point you might want to pause the video to work on it, but I'm going to record the melody. I'm going to bring out my right hand. I'll subdue my left hand so that if you want to try playing the left hand with the melody, you can give this a try, okay? So this is for those of you who are ready to try left hand. I'll provide the melody. I will go from measure 1 to measure 12, just for now. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So on. Okay. All right, students. Hope you enjoyed this piece. It's a really beautiful one. It's a really famous one, so it will be worth being able to play. Thank you. Stay tuned for the next lesson. Bye.